Yeah, today you're going to learn about physical properties as well as chemical properties. I'm going to begin. Okay. So, beginning with first one, physical properties of alkanes. You know the difference between physical and the chemical property. Physical property is where you are just observing the compound, like what is the color, what is the boiling point, whether they are soluble in the water. You are just observing the properties. Those are physical property where there is no new compounds being formed. Means there is no breakage of bond. There is no formation of a new compound with different properties. Okay, so that comes under physical property. Chemical property means when you make them to react, those original one will break down and then there will be a formation of a new compound. Okay, so that is chemical property, like the way they are going to react with a different compounds. Okay, so now first one is physical property. So if I talk about these alkanes, the starting ones are there, no? The starting few of the alkanes means around C1 to C4 carbon atoms. Okay, the alkanes with 1 carbon to 4 carbon atom. So these are usually in the gaseous state. Okay, those are gases. Yeah, 1 to 4 carbon are usually gases. Then around 3 or 4. Okay, then from 5 to 7 are there, no? They come in the liquid state. Okay, they come in the liquid state, and higher ones after this, whatever are there after this, the number of carbon atom which is existing, they will come in the solid state. Okay, so that is like one property, look wise how they are. Okay, physical state, I'm talking about the physical state here. So 1 to 4 carbons are just gases. You have known methane, ethane. Okay, ethane is evolved from the fruits. During the ripening of the fruits you have. Okay, and then we have 5 to 7 carbon which is coming in the liquid state. Higher ones are in the solid state. Okay, so this methane, ethane, propane, butane, most of these are in the gaseous state. Then after that they come in the liquid state, then higher ones in the solid. See here I've taken few in the liquid state. These will be in the liquid state, and then higher ones are in the solid state, like wax and everything. They are in the solid state, no? So they are having high molecular weight because there is so many carbon atoms which are combined together. Okay, so this you can just write down. Okay, this is only for your knowledge. You can write alkenes from 1 to 4 carbons are gases. 1 to 4 carbons are gases. Then write 5 to 7 are liquids and higher ones are solids. Higher ones are solids. Alkanes with C1 to C4 carbon are gases. You can write like this because this is only for your knowledge. Okay, they won't ask you in the exam. You write alkanes with the C1 to C4 carbon. This you will understand. No, 1 to 4 carbon. They are usually gases. One to 4 carbon are gases. Five to 7 are liquid. 'Then you write higher alkanes, higher molecular weight. Higher alkanes you write. Higher alkanes are in the solid state. Yeah, so next, after this, moving on, this I told you they are liquid and then solid. Okay. One more thing to tell you, these alkanes are there, no? See, alkanes are nothing but made up of carbon and hydrogen. Okay. You know the bonding which is existing between them, correct? No? The bond which is present in the alkanes are covalent bond, because they are formed by sharing of electrons. Carbon, usually they share the electrons and they form a covalent bond. Okay. So this particular molecules which are there, they are not that polar. Okay. They are not highly polar. They are non-polar. Okay. So these alkenes or any hydrocarbon for that matter, okay, they are usually non-polar in nature. So now being non-polar, they will not be soluble in water. Okay, because water by nature, if I take water here, water is polar in nature. Okay, now when you add any oily compound, any oil for that matter is hydrocarbon. So when you see, you add oil, you add wax, okay, you add fat into the water, they doesn't get dissolved, because the bonding between them, it's a covalent bonding and they are non-polar in nature. Okay, so that is the reason why these hydrocarbons are not soluble in water. They are not soluble in water. Okay, so this is one more point to remember. Okay, so you can write down for solubility, and next point you write solubility. Okay, next physical property. First one which I gave you was the physical state. Second one is solubility. Okay, so you write alkanes are not soluble in water. Right, alkanes are not soluble, they are not soluble in water. They are not soluble in water due to non-polar nature. Due to non-polar nature. See, I have written in the screen. It's there on the screen. You can copy down. Okay. Alkanes, I am talking about solubility here. Alkanes are not soluble in water. Alkanes are not soluble in water due to non-polar nature. Due to non-polar nature, you write. Okay, going on with the next, that is chemical property. So just now I told you, chemical property means where two compounds react together to form new compounds with the different properties. Okay, those two new compounds which are formed, they will have their own properties. So then we call them as chemical properties. Okay. So here, first chemical property, what you are going to learn is halogenation. Now, go with the name. Here, halogenation means what? Hydrogenation you have studied, correct? No? Hydrogenation means addition of hydrogen. So now here, halogenation means you are going to add halogen. Okay. So here, halogenation meaning addition of, you are going to add halogen. Here, it is not addition exactly what we are going to do. But then if halogen is being put into the compound, then we call them as halogenation. Okay, so if you are adding chlorine, then it is called as chlorination. If you add chlorine, it is called as chlorination. You just add the name with nation. Okay, it's a process. No? And if you are adding bromine now, bromine will be called as bromination. And then if you take iodine, it will be iodination. Okay, these are the different names which we are going to use with particularly with the compound. If you are adding chlorine, I said it's called as chlorination, bromination, and then so on. So halogenation now here, replacing, yeah, correct. We are going to just do the substitution reaction now here. It's not an addition reaction, it's a substitution reaction. Why substitution? Reason is because we are talking about here alkanes, and you know alkanes are saturated compounds. Correct, no? Alkenes are saturated. See, if I take now methane, CH4. So I can't do addition here. It's not possible. Addition is only possible if you are having a double bond or if you have a triple bond, because I can break this pi bond and then across that pi bond I can add hydrogen. Like I told you, in the case of preparation of alkane, we took alkene and alkynes to prepare alkanes. So that was possible by breaking the pi bond. Here one pi bond was there and here we are having two pi bonds. You can add across them. But in this case, you can't do any addition. If you're adding, then the compound will become unstable, that you know. So it will not take it anything. So if you want to add something, you have to remove now. So I should remove the hydrogen and in that place, I should add some of the halogen. Okay, so here the reaction, what takes place, it's a substitution reaction. So replacement of one or more than one atom by the halogen, that is called as halogenation. Okay, I will give the definition here. Halogenation meaning is the replacement. Okay, you're going to remove. It's a replacement of one or more than one hydrogen atom. More than one hydrogen atom of alkanes by halogen atom. This is called as halogenation. Okay, you can write this definition. What is halogenation meaning is, okay, this you write down, which I have given down. Then I will tell you with equation how does the reaction go. Okay, now I'll take one example. See, for this halogenation, so I've taken here methane. Methane, when made to react with we are talking about chlorination here, okay? So methane, when made to react with the chlorine, you know, chlorine by nature, it's a yellowish green color gas, okay? So here you can see the color of this chlorine which I've taken. It's in the cylinder. Both of them are gases, okay? So both the gases, to make them to react, it is not easy. So you have to do it in a container, and then the chlorine is made to react in the presence of a sunlight. Okay, so here what we are going to do is, methane is made to react with the chlorine in the presence of the sunlight. Okay, in the presence of sunlight. Either you can write sunlight or you can write H nu. H nu is nothing but energy, no? You have studied in this second chapter, structure of atom. Energy is also written as H nu. Okay. Nu stands for frequency, H stands for Planck's constant. So here this. Okay, so that can also be written. Now see, when you make this methane to react with chlorine, what happens during the process? Okay, I'm writing it here. Open structure, I'm showing you what happens. So here I'm taking methane, CH4 plus chlorine has a single bond. Chlorine and chlorine by themselves has a single bond. Okay, so during the process, in the presence of sunlight, this chlorine atom is there, no, they undergo homolytic fission. Okay, they undergo homolytic fission. You know, the homolytic fission is where the bond breaks in such a way that this shared pair of electron will be distributed to both the atoms, correct? No, in this way. One bond has two electrons, correct? We know it has two electrons. So this bond will break down in this fashion. So one bond has two electrons. So one electron will go to one chlorine atom, another electron will go to another chlorine atom. Okay, so they will break down like this. So after breaking down, here you get a free radical. You know, free radicals are very, very reactive. I've told you yesterday also, free radicals are highly reactive. So they will try to search for another atom to combine with. So they will go towards this methane molecule and break the bond of this methane. Okay, then you will get one hydrogen radical here, one CH3 radical here. So this two will combine together. See, once hydrogen radical is generated, this one chlorine radical will combine with hydrogen radical and it will go out in the form of HCl. Correct. Many have given the answer. Yeah, very good. So here you see how the mechanism goes now. Okay. Mechanism is through free radical. The reaction is through free radical mechanism. Okay, so here bond breaks down homolytically where one electron goes. You get a free radical. Since chlorine free radical is highly reactive, it will try to break the methane bond take one hydrogen and combine to form HCl. Okay, and remaining is what now? This is CH3. This CH3 will combine with another chlorine radical to become stable. Okay, two radical whenever they are there, it will combine together immediately to form a bond. So remaining is CH3Cl. Okay, this is the compound which is formed. But this reaction doesn't stop. If you are having sunlight and there is plenty of chlorine molecule, the hydrogen which is there in the methane, all of these hydrogen can be replaced by the chlorine molecule. Okay, so I have written now only first reaction. So you can write down now here. Okay, the compound formed is, first we have taken methane. Methane with chlorine. Okay, the compound is Cl with the CH3. Cl is chloro and one carbon. So it's methane. Chloromethane is the compound which is formed. Okay, this is how it is breaking down. It's only for your understanding. This I am putting in the bracket. Okay, you did not write this. This is enough. Okay, example is this for halogenation. Okay, now see, first equation is this. I told you the reaction will continue. Okay, so now next, after this, what happens is, you take this CH3Cl, this CH3Cl, if further made to react with chlorine. Okay, again, same story. Okay, this chlorine molecule will break down in this way. One radical will be formed here and they will go and break down this hydrogen. So I am not writing now open structure. You know how they break down. Okay, after this I will directly write the compound. In the presence of sunlight, or even you can write, I said, H nu. Okay, in the presence of sunlight, you are going to substitute one chlorine atom and remove one hydrogen. So compound will be, yeah, CH2. You are removing one hydrogen. So two hydrogen will remain, correct? No? CH2 and one chlorine you are adding extra. So CH2, Cl2. Plus what will go out is HCl. Yes. Okay. Now this compound is two chlorine atom you are having attached to one carbon atom. Okay. In this way, no, you are having two hydrogen and then two chlorine atoms. So two chlorine atom to same compound. So it's a dichloro, correct? No? Dichloro and one carbon, so methane. Okay. So the name of this compound is dichloromethane. Okay. Further, you can make this reaction till all the hydrogen has been replaced. Okay, so further again I am taking CH2Cl2 when further made to react with chlorine in the presence of sunlight. Okay, in the presence of sunlight again, you remove one hydrogen and add chlorine in this place. Okay, then you get the C. Yes, very good. CHCl3 plus HCl. Okay, that's a three chlorine atoms. So trichloro, yes, trichloromethane. Okay. Again, I can continue the reaction because one more hydrogen is still remaining. Yes, so CHCl3 trichloromethane will further react with chlorine atom, chlorine molecule in the presence of sunlight to give you CCl4 plus this one H which is come out will react with the chlorine atom giving you HCl. Okay, so that gives you tetrachloromethane. Okay, tetrachloromethane is formed. So till now the reaction will stop here because all the hydrogen atom which was present is being replaced by the chlorine atom, tetrachloromethane. Yes, very good. I think most of you know this reaction. So I have got many answers here. Yes, very good. Now copy down this. Okay, next. This was the first chemical property, okay, halogenation, where this halogenation is nothing but a substitution reaction. It was a substitution reaction, okay, which we did just now. Okay, next one. Next reaction is controlled oxidation. Now, before going for controlled oxidation, see, oxidation meaning is addition of oxygen to the compound, any hydrocarbon. Like if I take methane and to this if I add oxygen, this is oxidation reaction. Okay, but you know Now that when methane is made to react with oxygen, if there is plenty of oxygen present, then plenty of oxygen means you will get carbon dioxide and water as a product. Okay, this you have already learned. You know about this combustion reaction. Okay, if lot of oxygen is provided to methane, it will undergo complete oxidation to form carbon dioxide and water. Okay, but you can control this reaction. Okay, means if you provide little amount of oxygen, then different compounds can be formed. That is what we are talking about here. Okay, controlled oxidation means if you are providing in the presence of a different catalyst, if you take different catalyst, that will give you different product. Okay, because the way they are going to manage the reaction will be different. Okay, so see that different products will be formed during the reaction. So it's like almost, if you have seen these competitions will be there, no, like especially master chef, the reagents which is given to them or the ingredients which are given to them will be same. Imagine for all of them same ingredients are given, but each one has their own creativity. So the product at the end which will be formed will be different, correct? No, so like that only here, same reactant if you are taking, but if you are going to do this in the presence of a different catalyst will give you different product. Okay, so like that you can like produce with the same reactants, you can produce different compounds. Okay, now there is one hierarchy which I want you all to remember. You can write down also this side anywhere as a note you write. Okay, so always remember, if you take hydrocarbon, okay, hydrocarbon, if you are going to oxidize them, okay, on oxidation will go to a next level and form alcohol. Okay, so down one is the hydrocarbon. Okay, so after oxidation with different catalyst, I told you it gives you different compounds. So hydrocarbon on oxidation gives alcohol, and if you take alcohol and oxidize them, it forms either aldehyde, it will give you either aldehyde or ketone. Okay, aldehyde and ketone comes in the same family. You know, only there is difference is the hydrogen and the carbon. It's a C double bond O compound, no? Okay, and both the side you have valencies to get satisfied. If you add hydrogen here, then that's aldehyde. But instead of hydrogen, if you're putting carbon on both the place, then it's a ketone. That's the difference. So they come under same family almost, carbonyl compounds. Okay, and then aldehyde on oxidation gives you carboxylic acid. Okay, this is the hierarchy which has been observed. Okay, so this you need to remember. I want you to write down this. Write down as a note, okay, students? You write down as a note. See, if I'm going to oxidize, if I take hydrocarbon and do oxidation, okay, hydrocarbon on oxidation gives you alcohol. Alcohol on oxidation gives you either aldehyde or ketone. Okay, and aldehyde or ketone, if you are going to oxidize, it will give you carboxylic acid. Now, if you do in a reverse way, if you come down in this way, okay, from carboxylic acid, if you go down, so down will be a reduction process. If I keep going down in this way, see here, down. This way it is oxidation. Okay. So if you keep removing oxygen from this side, from carboxylic acid you remove or add hydrogen, then also it is possible. Okay. Removing oxygen or adding hydrogen. If you come down in this way, then it will give rise to hydrocarbon. So that will be a reduction process. This way, from carboxylic acid to hydrocarbon, it's reduction. And from hydrocarbon to carboxylic acid, there is oxidation. Okay. So this hierarchy you need to remember now. That's what I told you now. We are going to do controlled oxidation and get different variety of products. So now I'll take one example. Okay, see, if I take now methane, methane plus oxygen, okay, methane and oxygen in the presence of copper, okay, condition is this copper is maintained around 523 Kelvin and around 100 atmospheric